From Beaglebug to the voice actors, how do you think your characters would react to being placed in modern times?
Oh, Santiago would hate so many things. Just so much change, so much ideologies that he just does not agree with. He'd probably go nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking about, because somebody asked me a question once about what music styles the characters would listen to. And I was thinking, I'm like, I think at first glance people would expect like metal for Santiago just because he's so heavy and scary. But then I was like, I think his music stops at like classical and it doesn't go beyond that. So he would be there in his room listening to like Beethoven and that's it, you know?
Yeah, anything new, he'd just be like, what is this garbage? This is not what he's
Lady
used to.
Gag. Yeah.
Well, James would be, I have to admit, I think he would be horrified, just disgusted at what happened, what's gone wrong.
All the colonies.
Where's the empire? For starters, where's that gone? Really, what happened? So he'd be just horrified and incredulous. But I would imagine he would then just come to terms with certain things and build his own empire, as we all do in a sense.
I like how he went from. I like how Richard went from adapting to building an empire and didn't change this voice as he's speaking about that. He is logical. Get into a new time zone, come to terms with it, build an empire.
What else would you
It's
do?
the logical route to take.
Figure out the strengths and weaknesses, build empire.
Yeah.
Divide and conquer.
Oh yes.
No, for Louis, I would love to just say that he would go on a shopping spree, but honestly, the first thing that popped into my head is that he would miss his niece. I think Louis is very much a family person, and
what if his niece was with him?
Then he would go on a shopping spree.
I think he'd be happy. He'd be like, Paris is the center of fashion. I am okay with this.
Yeah.
France has done well.
Yeah, but I mean, if he was transported across time and space,
He would be the Doctor.
Next question. Okay.
Panda247, to the VAs, who inspires you the most for acting?
Oh.
Really just any big voice actor that is either back then or dead or alive, really. I think the most inspirational voice actor for me living is Frank Welker. He is he is, I think, the best alive right now. There are so many good voice actors though.
Yeah. Frank Welker is really interesting because not only does he do like everything from Fred and Scooby-Doo to Megatron from the Transformers.
Oh, of course you'd know that.
Of course I know that. But he also does animal noises.
Every animal noise and anything.
Yeah, the joke is that if you have a lot of really convincing animal noises that you haven't heard before, odds are they just hired Frank Welker to do the voices. Like I was watching, they did the behind the scenes for an animated movie. It was like a Scooby-Doo thing, and they had a lion in this movie, and it's a lion, and they show a clip of Frank just going nuts in a microphone, and he was the lion.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the animals in cartoons are not done by animals.
Yeah, but I mean like
Altivo in El Dorado is done by a human as well.
Yeah,
and
I would imagine it's Frank Welker.
It's probably
I'm gonna go look up who did Altivo now.
It's really just any animal. In any, I'm 99% sure it's Frank Welker because he does every animal.
Have we moved on from from favourite actor to favourite animal?
No, same thing. One and the same.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, who is your favorite? Who inspires you the most for voice acting, Richard?
For voice acting, I thought it was just for general acting.
Well, here. Oh yeah, fine. For the most for acting.
Well, actually, I can answer both. But I'd like Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, particularly because they're just their voices are very distinct.
Yes.
And then also
Peter Cushing's cheekbones are very distinct.
exactly. And then here we have a particular clue to one of my other favourite characters, and that being Tom Baker playing Doctor Who, of course, or the Doctor as it's.
Everyone likes Tom Baker. Yeah, Altivo is
So
played.
he's got a very particular accent and the way he speaks, which I like to try and emulate because I occasionally do a bit of Tom Baker pantomime, Doctor Who foolery, and so that's those are three that come to mind straight away.
I'm sorry, Richard. I didn't mean to accidentally interrupt you. I just realized
It's not unusual, is it?
I'm sorry. I'm apologies. Altivo is played by Frank Welker.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course.
What about
No
Abu
one else.
from Aladdin?
Abu.
Yeah, it's Frank Welker.
It
I know
is
that
Frank
for
Welker?
sure.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely Frank Welker. He's also Raja the Tiger.
What about the parrot?
Hold on.
That is Gilbert Gottfried.
Okay, the parrot is somebody else.
Abu
Yeah.
voice.
Abu.
Abu.
Cave of Wonders and Raja is Frank.
Yeah, Frank Welker.
Yep.
Did it.
Yep.
He's everything.
He's everything.
He's every animal.
Oh man.
He's the Noah North of animals.
Of animals. Oh.
Yeah. No, my answer to the question of voice acting is I have a lot of idols and people that I've really loved.
Most of them are Transformers.
Yeah, fine. But I also really like Nolan North, Mark Hamill, and Tara Strong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank Welker, and basically all of them, but
All of
especially
them.
Nolan North.
Anyone who's just going out there professionally doing all these voices, they're all really inspirational.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I'm not too familiar with voice acting. I liked Richard Horvitz because his work on Invader Zim was great.
Hmm.
Yeah. Song of Silver. What do you like the most about the character you're doing the voice for?
His fury. That's those kinds of characters, just full on fury. I love that. I love playing growly, like deep voice characters a lot. So really just how angry he is. That's what I appreciate most about Santiago.
I'll be right back. You guys keep answering.
Oh, okay.
So what was the question? Is it, what do you appreciate about your
What do you like the most
character?
about the character that you're playing? Yeah.
I suppose it's one of the reasons I was drawn to that character is because obviously you got the three. You got when the advert was put out for the voice acting and so on, it said we need a French-speaking actor, we need a Spanish-speaking, and then we need a stereotypical British captain speaker. Well, that's the one. Yeah, I can go for that one, no problem. So I've drawn to that and the way he speaks. He's a lot more confident than I am. He's a lot more assured of himself and who he is and where he is in the world and what he's up to. So that's in a sense that's enviable and that's steady, you two, steady. He's So I like that. I like his.
His stereotypicalness.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Bold
there we go.
confidence. That's what I like.
He's James is fun to watch. I really like, especially the way you do it too.
He's fun to annoy. I mean, watch.
Yeah. I like Louis' his gayness.
Yeah.
Gets in touch with your inner gayness, does he?
Sure. No, I just like how he thinks. I mean, we had this conversation before in one of the previous ones where I talked about Louis, how I see him, and how he is a stereotype we haven't seen, and I used a lot of words that I really actually agreed with, and I listened to the podcast recently, and I was like, yeah, I was saying good things, and basically that, he is such a third-dimensional human being. You know, with a really, really obvious and animated strengths and weaknesses.
Oh, flatter me more.
He's also made by God.
Well, next question!
White.
Yes. Oh, and someone let us know when you have to stop because you have.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll say like one last question.
Yeah,
when
okay,
I have
sure.
to go. Yeah.
This one's from Windy Mountain 5090. Are you planning on doing more than just this project with Louis and the gang? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this seems to be a school project. It is. As such, I have a fear that after it is complete, the characters will disappear. They didn't. I would hate to see it end up that way, but it all too often happens. Louis is just too fabulous to fade into oblivion.
Yes, he is.
He would kick my ass if I tried to make him fade into oblivion. Okay, you want it? Have some.
Are you
I'm getting
full? Oh wow.
I'm getting full on rice. I think I've answered this one by now. The development of the characters in Honour Amongst Thieves has gone through. The development of the characters in Honour Amongst Thieves have gone through, and the tremendous positive feedback and reaction to them. What the hell was I on when I wrote that? Has overwhelmed me. I'm not about to ditch the characters or the story anytime soon. I do have plans to at least. I want to finish the animation, and then flesh out their story in some kind of graphic novel. And then if that goes well, you know, I might illustrate more scenes. Or I was thinking it might be fun to do like small competitions on DeviantArt. People have been asking about Louis' pirate flag, and I thought I would do that as a competition sometime. Just see what other people come up with for his pirate flag. And for the girls out there that wanted to try voice acting, I might for fun, you know, come up with a little scene with his sister or his niece and see who gets the part, and then like, you know, lip sync it, something really simple.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do that.
Oh yeah, you could do casting call for the niece.
Yeah. I mean, just as like a fun thing.
And the sister too.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd like to turn it into a story, then, you know, animate some bits, and we'll see where it goes from there. So that would be fun to do. So I have no plans to ditch the characters. And question number 2, what would Louis do if James caught a terminal illness of their era, like consumption or smallpox or vice versa? He would stay the hell away from him, of course.
Yeah.
Bye, James.
There's no, before I die, I wanted you to, there's none of that.
No, he just
It's like, Louis, I'm going to die. And he goes, okay.
Sucks.
What did you do, you horrible Frenchman? Now I caught the illness.
What do you mean you're dying?
I'm clean.
I don't catch
Fine.
illnesses like that. Only foul, beastly, lower, self-catch things like that. I'm a decent human being.
Well, apparently not so decent.
We've already answered that.
Have we done?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lady Sparrow 1, question for Sack, what led you into your love of pirates? Anything particular? Did this story just happen? Pirates of the Caribbean happened. But before the movie, I used to go to Disneyland as a kid, and that was my favorite ride as well. In fact, it was my favorite ride that when we were in Australia, we had to do a little project about like something that we liked in our past, and my mom and I made a TV. It's a box, and then you make a roll of paper, and then you can roll it, and the pictures scroll up while you narrate for your class. And I basically drew the entire Pirates of the Caribbean ride because I liked it so much. And then a couple of years later, the movie came out. Ironically, I didn't know it came out when it was in theaters. I only saw it on DVD. Cartoon Chameleon. Right. Zach, do you feel yourself to be emotionally attached or connected to your characters? I'm incredibly attached. I am dangerously attached and possessive to a stupid amount sometimes. I've had drama in the past because people have misinterpreted my characters, and I wasn't happy with their versions in stories or art. And, I mean, most of the time I'm pretty gracious about it. I'll just be like, thanks I like your interpretation. It's not really them, but thank you anyway. I'm flattered. And some people just don't react well to that. I've had one girl who was criticizing me for my character, telling me how he should be, and that just ticked me off. But this is mostly in the case of Lazab, which is my Star Wars Twi'lek, who is psychotic and insane, because so many people want him to be this anime, you know, tortured soul, but you can heal me with love kind of thing. I'm just like, no. He's based on real serial killers. That doesn't happen, you know. Louis I'm more flexible with, and I love it when I receive fan art or sometimes fan fiction, but that's too easily misinterpreted. Especially since there isn't a lot of his backstory up, because I'm keeping that quiet. However, if someone actually draws like slash art, then I will be very, very, very unhappy because that's not the point of the story at all. Particularly the relationship between Louis and James has changed since Captain Fabulous and Commodore Homophobe. It's not that relationship at all anymore. And there seems to be a bit of a lag time in people's brains, and a lot of people are still latching onto this idea that Louis would give up everything to be with James, and that's not at all the point, you know. If, you know, it's I don't know. If James crosses the line, I'm not saying he does, but if he did, I think Louis would be very unhappy with him. Nudge, nudge.
Could you be any more obvious? No.
Hey, the details are quiet.